Whenever you stream or download a podcast, you need to be sure that the podcast you choose is suitable for the audience at home. To help you, there are warnings and descriptions that tell you broadly what the podcast is like. This podcast has been classified as explicit, which means it is for adults only. It is bad parenting on your part if you allow your child to listen to this filth and then get out of your pram when they repeat what they have heard. An explicit podcast will certainly have an adult theme and, if the host webcams are switched on, may contain strong scenes of sex or violence, or a combination of both that could be quite graphic. It will definitely contain spoilers and some explicit language, which will frequently mean sexual swear words, such as shit, fuck, bugger, bollocks, wank and twat. One of them may even say poo at one point. The warnings are there to give you the chance to make an informed choice. They allow you to have peace of mind and hopefully be entertained by these two idiots and their degenerate ways. And if this disclaimer isn't warning enough for what you're about to hear and you go ahead and listen just so you can get offended, then fuck it. We warned you and you only have yourself to blame. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the podcast.
I don't want to scare anyone, but I'm going to give it to you straight about Jason. His body was never recovered from the lake after he drowned. And if you listen to the old-timers in town, they'll tell you he's still out there.
Camp Crystal Lake is jinxed. It's got a death curse.
Some folks claim they've even seen him, right in this area.
Who's that? Oh, hi. What are you doing on this mess?
The girl who survived that night at Camp Blood, that Friday the 13th, she claims she saw him.
The boy. Is he dead too?
We didn't find any boy.
Then he's still there.
She disappeared 2 months later. Legend has it that Jason saw his mother beheaded that night. And he took his revenge. A revenge that he'll continue to seek if anyone ever enters his wilderness again.
Jason was my son, and today is his birthday. That's a good boy. Good Jason.
Jason's out there.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Ancient Slumber podcast, show number 30. My name is Chris Ward and joining me for a little discussion is Myron Schmidt. How you doing, Myron?
Hello, Chris. Doing great.
Good.
Doing great.
Good, even though you had a flat tire.
Even though I had a flat tire, yes.
Oh, well.
Yes.
These things are sent to try us.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly. Well, show number 30. We've made it to the big 3-0.
Yeah. And you mentioned to me off air that we've been doing this for 2 years.
Yes, by the time this hits, it'll be our 2-year anniversary.
Wow.
So, happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday or something like that.
I'll take a quick swig of Coke to celebrate. Yep, there we go. Yeah, 2 years. So, who'd have thought it, eh? Talking shite for 2 years and we're still here.
Coke, I thought you would do Monster.
Oh, no, I had a can of Coke in the fridge, so it saved me going down the shop.
Ah, gotcha.
Mentioning brand names, not that we're advertising. It could be anything. Cola drink in a red can.
Oh.
There we go.
That's right.
I was given it free by the local Chinese takeaway last night.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. So I thought I'll have that today. Yum, yum, yum. Well, been a busy time since we last recorded, because I went to Fright Fest.
Yes, you did. How was your first Fright Fest over across the pond?
It was absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed myself. I saw lots of films. I got to meet up with my good friend Luke Owen from Flickering Myth.
Excellent.
Did we? He was my guide for the weekend, if you like. So yeah, say hi to Luke. And yeah, I saw lots of great films. I only did the 2 days. I didn't do the full 5 days.
It goes for 5 days.
Yeah,
Wow.
Thursday till Monday. So Cult of Chucky and Leatherface were on the Thursday and Friday night, and I didn't get to them because I had to work. Boo. But yes, I was there for the Saturday and the Sunday.
Wow.
Wow.
Who did you meet? What was your best film?
Oh, best film. My best film was probably Victor Crowley, the new Hatchet film.
Really?
Yes. Yes, I really enjoyed that.
That's cool.
Even though I had to miss the last 10 minutes because I had to go and catch a train, which was a bastard. But Luke filled me in on what happened. So. But yeah, up until that
Very
point,
cool.
I was really enjoying it. Yeah, that was great. Adam Green came out and introduced that and gave a fairly emotional speech about it was George Romero who was the inspiration for him to make it.
Ah.
That was all cool.
Okay, good. Good.
That was all cool. I also got to see Attack of the Adult Babies, the new film by Dominic Brunt, which I really enjoyed.
Okay.
I don't know how well that would translate to an American audience, I'll be honest, because it is very, very British.
Gotcha.
I don't know. You familiar with the Benny Hill Show?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the Benny Hill Show, but sort of slightly darker with a bit more poo in it.
Oh, God.
If you can catch it anywhere, it's doing the festival rounds at the moment around the UK, so if you can catch it somewhere, do go and see it. But I got to meet Dominic, actually, and his wife Joanne out in the foyer before the film.
Oh,
yes.
very nice.
Very nice people they are too. Yeah, I was a big fan of Bates, his second film, which I think was 2015, which was my favourite film of that year. So yeah, I was very pleased to catch this, and yes, I enjoyed it immensely.
I watched a poo-laden film one time, and it was, oh God, it was so bad. I mean, I can't even describe how bad it was. It's a movie called Cuso.
Oh, no, don't know that.
Yeah, well, just, oh Jesus, God, it was bad.
Yeah, Attack of the Adult Babies is very, very funny. It's basically grown men in nappies getting treated like babies. And there's a more of a plot to it, but that's basically it. So, plenty of visual gags. Very good. What else did I see? I'm just looking at I got to see Blood from the Mummy's Tomb, the Hammer film, which was shown at the Prince Charles Cinema. That was a restoration. It's coming out on Blu-ray next month, but they showed that down there, introduced by Kim Newman. That was really good. My first Hammer film that I've ever seen on the big screen.
Oh, very nice.
So, yeah, that was lots of fun. And what else did I see? I saw a film called Killing Ground, which was...
Killing what?
Killing Ground.
Oh, okay.
It was an Australian film. Campers go out into the woods and meet up with the local redneck type things. Nothing we haven't seen before, but done fairly well. So, yeah, I quite enjoyed that.
Here, I was hoping it was a Bigfoot found footage movie.
No, I would not have gone to see that. That would not have happened. I watched a film called The End, which was a zombie film. Italian, I think it was, yes. Italian zombie film. Really, really good, actually. I quite enjoyed that. It's about a guy who gets trapped in the lift or the elevator in his office during a zombie outbreak.
Huh. Any good?
Very much single location type thing, but very, very well done.
Interesting, okay.
Very much reminded me, you remember Demons 2? There's that scene in the lift where there's two people trapped and the security guard tries to get them out and then the demons attack.
Yes.
Yeah, it's basically that stretched out to the length of a film.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But very good. Yeah, very, very owes a lot to Demons 2. There are lots and lots of references in there. But yeah, really enjoyed that. So that's one to look out for. And I'm looking back at my letterbox list. I watched a film called Jackals. Don't know if you've heard of that one.
Now I have. That's the cult film, right?
Yes, got Stephen Dorff in it.
How is it? I'm kind of interested in that one.
It's okay. It's not amazing. It's sort of, you want it to do more than it actually does. I gave it 3 stars at the time. It's certainly very watchable and there's a nice atmosphere to it. But have you ever seen the film The Strangers?
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe so.
It's a bit like that. It's a bit like the beginning bit of The Void, you know, when they're in the hospital and they got the people outside trying to get in, that type of thing. It's basically that.
Okay. Gotcha.
To do with deprogramming from cults. But yeah, it was good, but not great as I wanted it to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but if it comes, it's one. If you ever see it on Netflix or anything like that, then worth a watch.
I think it is coming to Netflix.
Oh, well, there you go. You'll probably get more of it than I would.
Okay.
I think you'll like it. I watched a film called Alone, which was a French film.
Ooh.
Yeah, this was probably the weakest one of the ones I saw.
Boo.
Yeah, it's very much in the same vein as 28 Days Later, but without the zombies, if that makes sense. Teenager goes to sleep, wakes up, everybody's disappeared and everything seems to have stopped. And then she has to go and find out why. She meets up with other people along the way, all that type of stuff.
Got it.
The first half was really good. The actual setup was really, really good. And the lead actress, I can't pronounce her name, Sophia Lisafra or something. She was really good. And then the film gets to a point and it just falls apart. And the last bit becomes really preachy. And I didn't like it.
Oh, don't like the preachy stuff. Yeah,
got a little bit spiritual and preachy at the end, and I didn't really like it. But the first half was really good. I quite enjoyed the setup of it.
Oh, nice.
That was probably the weakest one. And the other one I saw was a Spanish film called The Bar.
Spanish has got possibilities.
It was actually really, really good. After Victor Crowley, it was probably my favourite one of the weekend. Yeah, it's basically a group of people in a bar in Spain. Something happens outside and they're trapped in the bar. And it's the sort of, the thing you've seen before in Night of the Living Dead, and the thing where, you know, a group of people are close together and paranoia kicks in and all that type of stuff, and people go off into their little groups and all that sort of thing.
Ah, got it.
Really, really good film. A little bit long. It's not really a horror film, but there's horror bits in it. And it sort of does it in sections where you go, oh, that bit's like Night of the Living Dead. And then you go, that bit's like The Thing. And, you know, all these bits come into it. But
Right.
And just when you think you know where it's going, it switches and goes somewhere else. But I think it does it one too many times.
Ah.
You could shave 20 minutes off of it and probably be a bit tighter.
Nice.
Apart from that, really, really enjoy it if you come across it.
Okay.
So yeah, those were the films I saw.
Very cool.
Right then, should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on. Have you bought anything?
What we've been buying? I have. So, yeah. Whatever it is, I can't remember. Yeah, I have. What did I buy? So I'm scrolling down my list because I did buy something I wanted to mention. Oh yes, I bought Reanimator, the Arrow video box set.
Ah, yes. You were hot on the trail of that one.
I wanted that one. Yeah, US only release, unfortunately, but the disc is region free.
Oh, Jesus. Oh. Yeah, it was pretty pricey over here.
I got it for £38, including the postage.
That's not bad.
That's not bad, is it?
Yeah, when I looked around for you, I couldn't get it to you for that kind of price.
Yes, it's got the director's cut, the theatrical cut, and it's got what is called the integral cut, which has got footage that has never been seen in any other version in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is why I wanted it. Yeah, it's good. I can see why Stuart Gordon cut the extra stuff out, because it does sort of not slow the film up, but make it feel a bit stodgier than it needs to be.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a nice set. It's a nice 2-disc set from Arrow. Really enjoyed that in a lovely box. And what else have I got? There was something else. I really should be more organised than this, shouldn't I? Oh, I bought Day of the Animals.
I've never heard of it.
Never heard of Day of the Animals? Oh, you'll love it. It's from the 70s. It's one of those post-Jaws, Nature Gone Wild things. Christopher George, Leslie Nielsen. I picked it up at Fright Fest, actually, on DVD.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great. I saw it on TV years ago, probably the late 80s, and I've never seen it since. And then I was going through this rack of DVDs at Fright Fest. It's there. £6. Have some of that. It's absolutely nuts. It is a group of people go out climbing in the mountains. They get trapped, storm moves in, all that usual nonsense. And all the animals go mental, basically. And if you've ever wanted to see Leslie Nielsen stripped down to the waist and wrestle a bear, then this is your film.
No, thank you. I've seen enough of Donald Sutherland's butt to last me a lifetime. I don't need to see Leslie Nielsen's chest.
I'll tell you, it's it's worth watching. Yeah, it's a mad film. I'm sure it's one of those. I'm sure Amanda, our lovely friend Amanda's probably got lots to say about it because Christopher George is in it. But it's a 3-star film, but I did really enjoy it, and I'm glad I own it.
Speaking of that, our lovely friend Amanda is visiting across the pond again.
Oh yes, she is. She's over in our land somewhere.
Given another TV movie speech.
I know, fantastic. Yeah, anything else I bought? Oh yeah, I bought Return of the Living Dead 3 on Blu-ray because I love that film and it looks really good on Blu-ray.
There you go.
There you go.
You don't need much more of an excuse than that.
No, not at all. And you get to see the lead actress's titties in full HD.
There you go.
They always seem to be obscured in the old video version for some reason. Oh, had to mention titties at some point. Right then, go on.
Yeah,
then, what you bought?
We're like 12.
Yeah.
I've been doing a couple of things. I've been kind of filling the old back catalog and keeping up with Marvel DC Universe. So I picked up the new Wonder Woman Fabulous movie.
Okay, that's out here next month.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I really, really liked it. I mean, I really liked it. I picked up the second Punisher, not the Dolph Lundgren, but the Thomas Jane version.
Oh, right.
That was pretty good.
It's all right, isn't it? Apart from Travolta, it's all right.
Yeah, well, Johnny. That Scientologist.
Do you think they missed an opportunity in that film? Well, you know that bit where he's in the old building and that big Russian sailor type guy attacks him? Don't you think that should have been Dolph Lundgren?
Yes.
Wouldn't that have been perfect?
Well, it looks just like Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, exactly. And as Dolph played in Punisher before, that would have been perfect.
Yes, it would have. And then, of course, I picked up the Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh.
I mean, it's a good movie.
I've got no interest in that whatsoever. I watched the first one, I didn't like it.
And then I've been, I don't know why, but I've been filling the back catalog a little bit. I picked up the Airport, the complete collection, so it's got four of them on there.
Has it got the one with Christopher Lee in it?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes, it does.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Is that Airport 79?
No, Airport 77.
77, oh, okay.
Yeah, because he gets killed underwater. Poor Christopher.
Yeah, but he always comes back.
This has got 79 is the Concorde one.
Yeah.
Where the Concorde jet actually dodges missiles and planes. It was awesome.
I saw them. They used to be on telly a lot in the 80s, and I have seen them all at some point, but not for years.
Yeah. And then I rounded out the Predators collection that I did not have, so I bought the 3-pack.
Ah, yes.
On Blu-ray, Predator 2, and Predators.
What did you think of Predators?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. And then I filled out, I never owned a copy of Starship Troopers.
Right, yeah.
So I picked up the, Walmart over here has these, older movies on 4K.
Okay.
That when you get the 4K, you get the DVD and the digital code. So I just bought the 4K because it was, $1 or $2 more than the movie.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. I think there's a 20th anniversary edition, isn't there, of that?
That's the one that I have.
That's the one you have. Oh, yeah. But I've got the old DVD of it. Yeah. Oh, that's a great film, that is.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet that looks pretty good on 4K.
Yeah. And, of course, you know what I pre-ordered.
Hang on, let me think. What have we pre-ordered?
Never been released.
Never been released. Poughkeepsie tapes.
Yep. Yep. Pre-ordered that bad boy from Amazon.
Okay. Yeah, I did see a bit about it. Is that getting a UK release? Do we know?
No, US only.
Oh, okay.
It's Scream Factory that's releasing it.
Okay, fair. Oh, that'd be region locked then, I presume.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, never mind. I've seen it anyway.
And I noticed it at Walmart. They had the movie Raw. Do you remember that movie from this year?
Yes, I haven't seen it, but I know the one you mean, yes.
Yeah. $18 for a DVD.
$18 is...
I'm not paying $18 for a DVD. No Blu-ray, just DVD.
Hang on, let me have a look on here. How much it is over here. £10 brand new over here.
Yep.
That's probably about the same, yeah.
It's, well, no.
That'll probably go down in price pretty quick though, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that. It is on my list of ones to watch, but yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah, it's one I'd like to see before the end of the year.
Yeah,
sure.
If it turns up in a bargain bin or second hand for like £3, I'll pick it up then.
Or if it lands on streaming for me.
Or Shudder or Netflix or whatever.
Yep.
Excellent. Right, anything else?
No.
No. Okie dokie. Should we do some good, some bad, some ugly?
Oh God, yes. Let's do that.
Right. Go on then. Hit us with a good film you've seen.
I'm actually going to the obvious Hail Mary good one. Probably the best horror movie I've seen this year is the movie It.
Well, let me stop you there because that was going to be my good as well. So let's talk about it together.
Yes, let's do that. Fantastic movie.
Okay. I'm not going to say fantastic. I'm going to say very good.
Why just very good?
Because I didn't think it was fantastic.
Okay. Do you have a reason why, or just didn't click with you, or?
It does click with me. I do like the film. I thought it was very good. But I think this is going to make me sound like a real snobby wanker, but it's a mainstream horror film. And
yes, very.
Yeah. So, and I think for a mainstream horror film, it's pretty much perfect. It does exactly what it sets out to do. And
yes.
Everybody loves it. Everyone who doesn't like horror films is still going to go and see it. That's why it's doing so well. It's 4-star film for me, just because it doesn't go completely disgustingly grimy like I like, really, basically. But it's never going to. So.
Ah, okay. No, it's never going to.
It's never going to do that. It's a bit polished for me. There you go.
Gotcha. I thought it was pretty faithful to the source material. Plus, it was just an interesting coming of age horror type movie, and yes. I enjoyed all the characters. All the kids did a fantastic job. I thought.
I really like the kid who plays Richie, the one with the glasses.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought he was really good.
Yeah, it well acted, well directed. Yeah, it's very mainstream. But I'll tell you, it's in contention for movie of the year with me.
It's likely to be in my top 10.
God, I hope so.
Yeah. I think my experience of it was hampered a bit by the fucking morons who were in the cinema with me, which you probably saw me ranting about it on Twitter.
Yes. Do you guys have a big problem with that in the UK?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You're not allowed to go and sit and watch a film and enjoy it now. You have to tolerate fucking idiots who can't stop talking, who can't sit still, who have to get their phones out and have to shout to their mates and all this sort of crap.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
The staff that are employed in our big chain cinemas now are teenagers, basically. And teenagers, if you go out and complain, the teenage staff aren't going to come in and throw these people out.
Right.
So you have to end up taking it upon yourself to be a bit vigilante with them.
Well, at least I'm fortunate, even with my work hours, that I can go at odd times. So yeah. I don't go at night. I go in the middle of the day. I go to the more expensive theater with the reclining seats. And when we went to see it, there was like 8 adults in the theater. It was glorious.
Yeah, I went on a Sunday afternoon about 4:00. I thought I'd be all right, and it was just there were 2 groups of teenage kids either side of me. One group just wouldn't stop eating and talking to each other, and the other one, this kid just kept getting up, walking out, coming back in, walking out, coming back in, shouting, "Has the film started yet?" So in the end, I just said, "Look, sit down and shut the fuck up." What? I said, "I'm here to watch a film, not listen to you piss about. Now sit down." And he did, but then he continued to sort of slurp his drink loudly and play with the seats and all this sort of crap. Flip the seats up and down. You think, why? Why would you pay money to sit there and be irritating to people?
Because they're not paying money. They're using their parents' money.
Oh, probably. So, my experience was hampered by it. So, yeah, I mean, when it comes to Blu-ray, I shall certainly get it and sit down and hopefully enjoy it a bit more. But, yeah, the film itself, though, yeah, very good. I really like the 80s setting. I think they got the details right of it being 1989.
Yes, I think that they did too.
Yeah, because I was that age that the kids are in the film in 1989. So I was getting all the references, like all the New Kids on the Block references and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I love it when they walk past the cinema in the film and it says showing now Batman, Lethal Weapon 2 and Nightmare on Elm Street 5. I was like, oh, summer of 89 was just fucking brilliant, wasn't it? But yeah, got all that, really enjoyed that. So the guy who plays the Pennywise, what's his name? Bill Skarsgård, I thought was really, really good.
Yes, he was very, very good.
Yeah. Again, it's a mainstream horror film. It's very polished. But if it gets other people into horror films and it gets the interest there, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a lot like Get Out. Get Out.
Yes.
It's a very polished, very mainstream horror movie, but if it gets people watching, that's fantastic.
That's it. Yeah, it was really good. So, and apparently the Blu-ray is going to have some extra footage, like a director's cut version.
Oh, nice.
So an extra 15 minutes, I think I read somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's good. Yeah, looking forward to part 2.
Yeah, King material and King in general right now is the hot commodity.
Yeah, it seems to have come back in, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot going on with on streaming and whatnot. So
yeah. Oh well, all good. Gets people watching.
Absolutely.
Okay, do you want to give us a bad film you've seen?
Yes. Now, you may recall that I expressed some jubilation in a found footage only channel. So I subscribed for a whole year.
Of course you have.
$20. Okay, why not?
That's the budget of the films they show.
Oh God. It took a few days. I had to do some Roku firmware updates and some resets and really go through a big to-do to get this to go. But it finally started. So I'm watching the films in order. I'm not cherry picking anything. There's only about 41 movies, and the first two I watched, the first one was a 34-minute short called Seven.
Right.
And the next one I watched was a aliens invade the Earth movie called Nightfall.
Okay.
Now, if the remaining movies on this channel are of this quality, I will sigh all over the place. They were, I don't even know if the word abysmal even covers it. Seven was just, oh dear God, please make it stop. And it was only 30 minutes long.
Can I stop you there, Myron?
Nightfall was.
Can I stop you there, Myron? What were you expecting? What did you think was going to happen?
That's what I expected. That's what I expected.
So you've signed up to this found footage channel, and the first two films you've watched are shit.
Yes.
Okay, lesson learned there.
I moved on to the third one.
Yeah.
And that's called Leaving DC, and that one was pretty good.
Okay.
And then I started, but I have yet to finish, because I ran out of time, a movie called Be My Cat, a Film for Anne.
Okay.
Now, I've been searching this movie out because actually it was mentioned by, God, who is it? The Blumhouse site as, one of the top unheard of found footage movies to watch, one of the top 10. Okay. And it's actually pretty good. I'm impressed with this one, but I got to finish it to see how it ends up.
Right. It was that good you couldn't watch it all in one go.
I ran out of time. I had to do something. I shouldn't have started it, but I did. I was so anxious to see it. Okay.
Okay.
But I'm a masochist. I got 37 more movies to go, and I'm going to watch all.
Masochist? You're a bit of a fucking mug by the sounds of it.
Yeah. All right. Oh God. You know what? You do these things where you're so hopeful, and the first 5 minutes you're like, I knew it was going to be like this. I knew it was going to be like this, but you can't help yourself.
You paid for it now.
Yeah,
You'll get your $20 worth.
Yep, it is out the window. I'm hoping to recoup my $20. I probably will.
Okay.
But
Right. Yeah, well, you get what you pay for, don't you?
But hey, I'm at least hopeful that there'll be some ability to bring other movies to it that are more difficult to see in the found footage realm.
There's a reason that these films are pretty much unavailable. Because no one wants to see them.
I know they're going to have a hard time because Shudder usually scoops up the top ones. So it's going to be, we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping next month when we record, I'll have better things to report. I know you can't wait.
Oh, well, I'll wait with bated breath on that one.
Yes. But as you expected, the first foray into it didn't go well.
Oh dear. All right then.
And to be honest, I'm not even sure what the plot of the short was. It's like, oh God. You ever watch a 34-minute short where you just think you've sat for 5 hours? It was that kind of movie.
Okay, well, you paid for that privilege, so
yes, I deserve it. What's your
fool
bad?
and his money.
Yes.
Right then, my bad. I struggled actually with a bad this month because I haven't watched anything that's been really terrible.
Oh,
for a change, but I have picked a film which I'm putting it in bad only because it's a rewatch and I didn't like it as much second time. So it's the nearest I could come. It's a film called Hammer of the Gods. From 2013. It's, Vikings invading England, that type of stuff. Low budget.
Right.
Couple of faces in it you may know. James Cosmo, who plays the dad in Trainspotting's in it. And Ivan Kay, who's in a comedy called The Green Green Grass, he's in it. And Glynis Barber's in it. I like this. I reviewed this originally in 2013 for a site I was working on at the time, and I quite liked it. And then I rewatched it the other day and went, actually, this is quite shit, isn't it? But it's not shit as in really terrible. It's just bland. I don't know why. I liked it at the time, rewatched it now, and it's just not very good. There are a couple of good fight scenes in it, and the acting's okay, but it is sort of CGI blood, and yeah, it's a thing. I watched it. I probably won't watch it again. 2 stars. There you go. Yeah, not terrible. Not the worst thing I've seen, but probably the worst thing I've seen this month. So.
Yeah, sounds like you had a better go of your bad than I did.
Yeah. Go on then, what's your ugly?
Oh, now this movie it is an awesome movie, but it's just ugly because of it's just an ugly movie. I mean, it's just,
Yeah, okay.
It's a classic. It's called Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't, but it is almost because Duncan did this on his show recently, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, I know the film, but I've never actually seen it. So it's on YouTube.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I will be queuing it up to watch it at some point this week, hopefully.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to.
Right in my ballpark, I think.
Yeah, Silky the Pimp in there is awesome. The doctor turns into an albino white vampire. It's God, it's just it has got absolutely everything you can think of for a blaxploitation movie. The acting is horrible, the plot is stupid. I mean, it's just
but I love it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The special effects are shite. The movie quality is ugly. It is.
But yet you
it's
still
awesome.
liked it.
Yes.
There you go. And there you go. That is, you asked me a couple of weeks ago about Grindhouse films. That is what we like. They're shit, but we like them. You can't explain it.
This is definitely a Chris Ward movie, for sure.
Oh, well, yes. Yeah, I shall be watching it at some point this week.
There you go.
Yeah, Duncan was very enthusiastic about it in his review.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
And I wholeheartedly stand behind his enthusiastic review.
Yes.
I don't even know if it's on DVD anywhere or Blu-ray or anything.
It is on DVD from the States, I think, but it's quite expensive to get over here if you want to get it through Amazon Markets or whatever.
Yeah.
I think there is a US one DVD somewhere.
I am just shocked that Arrow or Scream Factory hasn't grabbed this up because it's right in their ballpark.
Yeah, certainly a suggestion. Yeah, might put it to them.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, I shall check it out and I shall let you know what I think.
Go on, give us an ugly.
My ugly, I know you haven't seen this film because it's a film we've sort of discussed on Twitter this week, is a Serbian film.
Yes, I have not seen that film. I honestly thought it was a found footage film.
No, it's not a found footage film.
Not necessarily found footage, but just that whole almost through the lens of cameras film. I thought that. I don't know why.
No, there's an element to that because one of the characters picks up a video camera, and he looks at stuff that's been filmed on it, but it's not filmed in a sort of shaky cam way or that type of stuff, you know.
Okay.
It still looks very like a regular film. But I watched this years ago. I watched it about 7 years ago, the full uncut version. I got the screener disc that was doing the rounds at the time. And then recently I saw the UK censored version, and it was only like £1 second hand. So I thought, well, I'll pick it up and have a look and see if I can compare to the uncut one. And it feels weird to say I like a Serbian film because it doesn't show you in a good light, but I do like it as a film.
Okay.
I think it's so well made. The acting's good, the effects are good, the subject matter is obviously questionable. But if you go into it viewing it as the metaphor that the directors say that it is, it's torture porn taken to the extreme. There you go.
Gotcha.
So well made. The UK cut version is actually, ironically, it does that thing where they cut out something that you see and it actually makes it more intense by not seeing it.
Oh, Jesus. Of course.
You know how that happens sometimes? What you don't see is more powerful? Yeah, it sort of got that effect, really.
Oh, that's funny.
So, I think if you do pick up the cut version at any point, it's pretty horrific enough if you're not used to that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
But I still think films should be seen uncut anyway. So.
Yes.
Yeah, but for me, it's a film that I like because I like extreme things, as you well know, and, I look at it for what it is. It's a bit of film that's well made. Bit of film that's well made.
Have you ever heard Baz's take on the Serbian film?
I have, yes.
Yeah.
But, I think if somebody had seen some of the August Underground films and those types of things, and they go, this stuff's shit. Yes, that is shit. That is just...
Yes, it is.
Absolute. There's no artistic merit to that crap whatsoever.
No.
But a Serbian film is a well-made, well-put-together film, and if you view it with the intention with the director's intentions, and I think it works.
There is a found footage movie. It's called what is it called? Like Sandman or something like that. It's S ampersand M.
Oh yeah. I've heard of that. Yeah.
And they it's supposed to be about the cult underground toe tag, which did August Underground kind of films, and it's just as bad as August Underground films.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Those films are shite. I mean, I'm not say they shouldn't exist or anything like that, because fuck it, I haven't made a film, and these people have, so good luck to them. But,
exactly.
But they are terribly badly put together, no artistic merit. They are there just for shock value, and that's it. And it's not shocking, it's just comical.
Yeah, it's not even shocking. That's just the problem is, it's...
So at least Serbian film's got a story to it. There is a point to it.
I mean, it's, those kind of movies are people trying to be shocking that just can't be shocking.
Yeah.
They don't understand what shocking is.
No, that's just picking up a camera and flinging blood and guts at people. That's not shocking.
Yes. Using brown or baddie as poo. Brown or baddie, or brownie mix with water as poo.
That's it. Yeah.
Really, come on, guys. Yeah, exactly.
Dear. So my ugly Serbian film, I do enjoy it, but it is an ugly film to watch.
Gotcha.
There we go. Right then, should we move on to our main features?
Yes.
I think we've waffled on long enough. Right then, let's kick off the beginning of our Friday the 13th run with Friday the 13th. Woo-hoo.
Hello? Who's that? Oh, hi. What are you doing out in this mess?
1, 2, 3.
We weren't doing anything. We were just messing up.
4. Five. 6.
Must be my imagination.
7.
Can I help you? Hello?
8. 9. 10. 11. 12. Friday, the 13th. You may only see it once, but that will be enough. Friday, the 13th.
Right then, Friday the 13th, 1980, directed by Sean S. Cunningham, starring Betsy Palmer, Adrienne King, Kevin Bacon, Harry Crosby, Mark Nelson, Janine Taylor, Robbie Morgan, Walt Gorney, and Deborah S. Hayes. Synopsis for this one: a group of camp counselors are stalked and murdered by an unknown assailant while trying to reopen a summer camp, which years before was the site of a child's drowning.
Yes.
Well, that's quite a heavy plot for a slasher film, innit?
That it is.
That it is. So, had you seen this one before?
Yes. Yes.
Because I know some of these you haven't.
I have seen the first 4
Okay.
before.
So the 4 we're talking about today you've seen. Right.
Yeah. And matter of fact, I've even seen, was it 3? Possibly number 4 at the movie theater. Because, I mean, this is my high school years.
Yes, okay. Right then, so where did you first see Friday the 13th? You didn't see this at the cinema then?
No, I saw it on VHS.
VHS, okay, yeah. This was one of those films where I've told you before about when my aunt had Sky TV in the 80s.
Yes,
And I used to cycle down with videotapes, yeah. So this was one of them. I saw this, I brought the videotape home. I remember this, it was a Friday night. Everyone else in the house had gone out. I was probably about 11, 12, about 11, I think. I put this tape in on my own and I watched this film. I'd seen part 3 already.
Okay.
So I went into it thinking, Jason's the killer, blah, blah, blah. And I got this.
Yeah.
And I must say, it's still one of the best movie watching experiences I've ever had.
Really?
Really. I love this film.
You knew what you thought was gonna happen.
Yeah, what I thought was gonna happen, and it didn't happen.
Bad.
And I think that's the great thing about this first Friday the 13th, is that it's totally different from the rest of the series.
Right. I mean, it's so talked about now, but if you go into it thinking you're going to see Jason in a hockey mask, it's a very pleasant surprise.
Absolutely, yeah. We got our the plot's pretty much the same. We got our camp counselors opening up the summer camp, Camp Crystal Lake, and they get picked off one by one.
Yes.
That is more or less the plot. So up until about 20 minutes before the end of the film, it is fairly similar to the rest of the Friday the 13th series.
Yes.
And then we find out who the killer is.
That's right.
Yeah. It's not a spoiler, because if you've seen Scream, it tells you in that. It's Jason's mum.
Exactly. But you know what strikes me about this movie compared to Halloween is the lack of flying gore.
Yes.
It's not a gore-filled movie. Now, yes, there are knives and spears and whatnot pierced through people, but it's not like we don't see, blood going. It's all, beautifully done, short, practical effects, that probably are more shocking than, spraying blood and whatnot nowadays.
Yeah, there's more blood in this than there is in Halloween.
Yeah, well, yes, yeah. There absolutely is. Absolutely is.
Because this was basically, this film was inspired by Halloween, but had the added bonus of the gore.
But you know what I mean. It's not
the gore fest.
Yeah, it's not like there's a whole pool of blood and somebody's in it or something. It's very subdued. It's very
More
purposeful.
Subtle. Yeah.
Yes. The
one thing to mention though about this is if you watch this film in high def now, you can pretty much see how all the gags are done.
I actually did not watch it high def. I watched it I bought a 4-pack, and with that 4-pack came the digital. So I actually watched it on digital. So you don't get that crisp, clean, Blu-ray high definition kind of thing going.
Yeah, with that in mind then, I'll mention this now. If you want these films on Blu-ray in the UK, you're shit out of luck. You can get the first 3 on Blu-ray in the UK. I picked up the box set, the US box set, which has got them all in, which are all the films I'll be reviewing in the next 3 shows from this box set.
Okay, cool.
I picked up, it's a steel box with all the films in it inside a little book. I picked it up for about, this is going to sound bad now, I paid about £80 2 years ago.
That's not bad for a US release.
From America, plus shipping, plus import taxes. I think I ended up paying about £100 for it.
Okay.
This was actually after Chris Clayton told me about an eBay offer where you could get £10% off a purchase. So I bought one. And I actually ended up paying about £60, and when it arrived, it was damaged. So I sent it back, and the company didn't have another one to send me, so I got my money back. But then, of course, since I'd held it in my hands, I wanted it. So therefore, I had to go and buy another one, and I ended up paying a bit more. So, yeah, I paid £100 for it. And quite pleasingly, I went on Amazon the other day to look up some of the features on it, and they're now selling on Amazon for about £400.
Wow.
Second hand.
Shit.
So it's going to take a fucking high offer to get one off of me, tell you. But yeah. It's a lovely box set though. So yeah, I did watch this in high def. There are 2 deaths in this, and our feedback will allude to this later. There are 2 deaths in it where you can see that how the gags are done, because the effects are done by Tom Savini.
Yes, they are.
The legend Tom Savini. Lots of throat slashing and spearing by Spears, funnily enough. And lots of latex and lots of blood packs and all that, and you can see how it's all done. But that doesn't take away the enjoyment at all.
No, not at all.
Not at all. So yeah, we got all of our camp counsellors, they get picked off, and then Mrs. Voorhees, played by Betsy Palmer, turns up. We think everything's all happy, and then she starts going mental. And this final 20 minutes, I think, is one of the best in all slasher films, I think.
It absolutely is right up there with, in a lot of ways, for me, the ending of Halloween.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah. Watching it this time, the only thing I did think was, because the final girl, played by Adrienne King, she knocks Mrs. Voorhees down at least 3 times, and then sort of just walks off, and you think, fuck it, finish her off while she's on the floor.
I know. But that's a trope.
Even if you just stab her in the leg with something so she can't run, just do something so she stays down. But she just throws a ball of string at her at one point.
Hey, it's effective. You never know.
It works. So yeah, it's great. And then obviously we get the final confrontation by the lake, and Alice, played by Adrienne King, picks up the machete, runs at Mrs. Voorhees, and whacks her head off. Which, I'll be honest, the 11-year-old me was not expecting.
Right.
And the great thing about the Blu-ray is, as Mrs. Voorhees' body falls over, you can see the 2 toothpicks sticking out of the dummy that were holding the head on. And then you also get a nice close-up of the hands of Tom Savini's assistant waving in the air that clearly aren't Betsy Palmer because they've got thick black hair on the back of it.
Hey, you said she threw a ball of string. Maybe she thought Mrs. Voorhees would be overcome with the need to knit.
Could be.
You never know.
Well, she's got that knitted sweater on, so it could be.
Exactly.
But that's the fun of it, I think, knowing all these things. Because at the time, when I was 11, I wasn't looking out for things like that. I was just excited by the story. So you get a nice beheading at the end, and you think it's all over. Alice gets in a boat, sits out on the lake where she thinks she's safe, and then we get the Carrie ending.
Yes.
Yeah, Jason leaps out the water and drags her in. So we do get a bit of Jason in here.
We do.
And, fantastic. I think the ending still works, even though you know what's coming. I still love the way the music's calm, and then it just kicks in as
Yes.
Jason leaps out the water. And
Yes.
yeah, I don't think this film's lost any of its power for me over the years. I still enjoy watching it.
Oh, me too. Me too. I'm going to mention something to you now as we go forward to parts 2 and 3. In the soundtrack, did you find an eerie resemblance to some of the Jaws music in part 2 and 3?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Also Psycho as well, I got.
Okay. Yes. All right. Good. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
This film, sometimes it's more fun to talk about the odd parts, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, how in the heck does little Mrs. Voorhees, throw that girl, I think it's Brenda, through the window?
Yeah. So you're not supposed to ask all that.
I know.
How does she drag the body up into the tree so it flops down as Alice runs past and all that sort of nonsense? Yeah. Oh,
yes.
It's absolutely
Come on.
daft. But it's great fun. And
Yes.
yeah, and I think, with all due respect to Sean Cunningham, he's not what I would call an auteur. He's not a director of note. He's more of a producer than a director.
Right.
And I think as the films go on, especially the next couple, I think the direction may be a little better. But I do like the way just the general look of the film, I think, is really, really good. And the way that the directors of future parts carry on that look and they carry on that feel.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially these first 4, I think, it's really, really good. So yeah, it's just one of them films. I haven't watched it for a few years, I'll be honest, probably about 5 or 6 years. But yeah, I was thinking that time maybe have diminished it a little bit, and I'll watch it now and go, nah, it's not very good now.
No, it holds up really, really well.
It holds up really well. If people watch it and think it's a bit slow for the first hour, I get that. But at the same time, it's nice to have that build up, because when the ending hits, it still really hits and it's still really effective. So I think, yeah, it's pretty much on the nose, really.
I've got 2 questions for you.
Go on then.
The goofy cop thing, it's still part of this, correct? And did Kevin Bacon get a hand job in the pickup truck?
Now, you've been speaking to Gore Blimey, haven't you?
Yes.
He's obsessed with that hand job scene, isn't he?
He got handy. There's no way around it.
I have looked back at that scene, and it could be seen as that, yes.
He's moaning.
Yeah, if people don't know what we're talking about, there's a shot in the film where the kids are driving along in the car, and it looks like Kevin Bacon's getting some relief as he's sat in the car. If anybody ever gets the chance to speak to Kevin Bacon, ask him.
Yes.
Amanda, she meets lots of people.
That's right.
There
Amanda must know him somewhere.
Yeah, that's the quest. We have to get to Kevin Bacon and say, were you getting a hand job?
She's probably only 1 degree separation from Kevin Bacon.
Well, we all are, really, aren't we? Either that or Bruce Campbell, one of them, isn't it? There's only 6 degrees of it.
Oh, God, that's right.
That's it.
That's right. But, I mean, the goofy cop are still a trope. I mean, this started way back, in 72?
Last House on the Left.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not so much goofy in this one. He's just a bit of a stereotype, isn't he?
Maybe that's it.
If I'm correct, that cop in this film didn't know how to ride a motorbike.
Oh, really?
If you notice, when he rides off and he turns around and drives back up the path, he doesn't look too steady.
No, he almost falls off, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is... I know one of them, I saw an interview with one of them. It was in the Crystal Lake Memories documentary. And I'm sure it's this one. He said he didn't know how to ride a motorcycle. But, Sean Cunningham just kept saying, all you've got to do is ride down the path, turn round and ride back. And he just couldn't get it right.
Oh, you know what? In spite of that, my favorite kill of the movie was still beheading of Mrs. Voorhees.
Oh, yes. It's still the best one. And it's done in slow motion as well.
Yes. It
helps with the tension, but doesn't help with the special effects.
Probably on high def, especially.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's some great kills in that. I always like the kill, what's the character's name? The very first one who gets her throat slashed in the woods.
Yeah, the hitchhiker.
Yeah, and I don't know why, because it's not particularly graphic. It's not, I don't know. I just like it, even though you can see clearly in high def that the latex on the front of her neck is a different colour to the rest of her skin.
Again, a lot of those sins are hidden by watching DVD copies.
That's it. You can see it on the DVD, but it's not as bad. I remember back to the old VHS, you couldn't tell at all, and it looked really, really good.
Right. Tracking.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, anything else?
No, I'm curious what you rate this film.
Well, I rated it 4 red neck chiefs around the camp owner's neck out of 5.
Really? I went 4.5.
Did you? Really?
Yes.
I've got to say, I probably, a few years ago, I may have gone 4.5. But I think watching it in high def and you can see how some of the stuff's done, maybe it's not as perfectly put together as I thought. But I still get the same enjoyment out of it.
Right.
So it's a solid 4 for me. Absolutely solid 4.
Excellent.
But yeah, 4 for you went 4.5. That's fine by me. Yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I counted 7 kills in the movie.
Yes.
Which is, by my count, the least out of the first 4.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Right. So, talking of the first 4, shall we move on to the next one?
Yes. Let us move on to the next one.
Okay, let's play a trailer.
Hello?
On a June night in 1980, Friday the 13th, 12 of her friends were murdered. Why should Friday the 13th, 1981 be any different? Friday the 13th, Part 2. The body count continues. 14.
All doomed. You're all doomed.
15. God. 16.
Help!
17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23.
Sandra? Jeff?
The day you count on for terror is not over. Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Right then, Friday the 13th, Part 2, 1981. Directed by Steve Miner. Starring Amy Steele, Adrian King, Betsy Palmer, Walt Gorney, Warrington Gillette, Stuart Charno, Tom McBride, Russell Todd, and Jack Marks. In this one, Mrs. Voorhees is dead and Camp Crystal Lake is shut down, but a camp next to the infamous place is stalked by an unknown assailant. You bet it is. Right.
And you mentioned Warrington Gillette. And
Yes.
He's our first Jason.
He's our first proper Jason.
Yes.
Although,
Yes.
if you watch the Crystal Lake Memories documentary, there's a bit of contention about that.
Well, they also mentioned a stunt double.
There's a stunt double whose name is... I'm sure it's Steve somebody. I can't remember the guy's name. But yeah, if you watch the documentary, Steve Dash.
Yes.
But that's his name now. He was credited as Dashovitz in the film. Yeah, he was the stunt double for Jason. He claims that most of the footage you see on the film is actually him and not Warrington Gillette. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, there's a bit of contention there. So, yeah, I will keep referencing the Crystal Lake Memories documentary. I think we'll talk more about that when we round up the series.
And this is Steve Miner. This is also the guy who gave us the remake of, what is it, Day of the Dead?
Day of the Dead, yes.
Oh, God.
The classic that it is. The classic piece of shit. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Steve Miner, he's done some good films and he's done Day of the Dead. So, there you go.
Yeah.
But he worked on the first Friday the 13th, and yeah, his name pops up here and there over the next few films, various reasons. So yeah, he directed this one and the next one. So yeah, you didn't see this at the cinema either, did you?
This one I don't remember seeing at the cinema now.
No. Right, I've got a strange relationship with this one.
Is it because Crazy Ralph comes back?
I like Crazy Ralph. No.
I do too. You gotta love Crazy Ralph.
This is an odd one for me because this was the last one I saw out of the original Paramount films. The first 8 films, and I saw all the others before I saw this one because none of the video shops where I lived had it.
Oh, really? Was it just because of the video nasties?
I think that was probably part of it because it was on one of the lists, wasn't it? The Section 3 list, I think it was. And you couldn't get it. And eventually, I went into one of the local shops and they managed to get it in for me, and I watched it. So it was the last one I saw. So I didn't really have like a relationship with it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not one I grew up with. It's not one I saw first of all and then saw the sequels and blah, blah, blah. I saw it after I'd seen Jason Takes Manhattan. So the effect of this one is probably a bit hampered for me.
Okay. Gotcha. Also, thanks to Baz, the character of Mark, I nicknamed Wheels.
Okay. Right. I'm going to point out something about his death.
Okay.
Which I noticed it on this watching and it bugged me. When they put the machete in his head, they strike him with the blunt edge, not the sharp edge.
Yes.
Why would that go into his head like that then?
Oh, I don't know. You're kind of picking details.
Well, no, if you're going to chop someone's head with a machete, you hit them with the bladed edge, surely, not with the blunt edge.
Yes.
It's the wrong way round.
Yes.
And also in one of the other films, they do that, where they slash somebody's throat with the wrong edge of the machete.
Of course they do.
And there's another death in one of the later ones, which I'll get to in the next show, which one of the classic deaths in Friday the 13th, and it shouldn't work. And I'll tell you why when we get there. But
the character Wheels.
Yeah.
Did they expand his death scene in Friday the 13th: A New Beginning, or the final chapter?
No.
Did they? Okay. I thought they might have expanded it and shown him rolling down the hill backwards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He does. That is in the film. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't think it was in part 2. That's all.
Yeah, it's in part 2. He gets hit in the face with the machete. The wheelchair goes back down the stairs, and then it fades to white when he's like halfway down or something.
Gotcha.
So yeah, basically, the beginning of this film, we get to see what happens to Alice a couple of months after the events of the first film.
Yes.
And this is where the problems start if you want to follow the timeline of Friday the 13th.
Oh, we can't follow timelines.
You cannot follow the timeline because it just does not work. But in theory.
In theory, okay.
The look of Jason in this one, he looks like one of the mutants out of Wrong Turn. He's not the huge hulking beast that we get in part 3 onwards. He's a lot smaller than that. He looks basically like a mutated teenager.
Yes.
Yeah. And when you watch this in relation to part 3 and what happens in then, and you think, well, if we flash back to that period of time, how come he looks like he's a big hulking beast, and then he shouldn't be a big hulking... Yeah. Basically, in part 3, one of the people there was attacked by Jason years before, and they show the flashback, and he's the big hulking beast with the hockey mask build, which supposedly happened before the events have happened in this film, in which he looks like a teenager who's half the size.
Yes.
So he shrunk and he grew again.
And doesn't part 3 actually follow the same day or the next night?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So the timeline doesn't work at all.
And also part 4 follows the next night after that, and somebody in that film has a photo of Jason in the local newspaper. But how the fuck did that happen? Who took the photo? Anyway. We'll ignore that for now. Part 2. Yeah. So I saw this on video probably, after Jason Takes Manhattan. So probably around about 89, 90, something like that. I think of this like I think of Halloween 2. I don't hate it, but it's not particularly great, I don't think.
Right.
A lot of people like this one.
It's enjoyable. Yeah. Absolutely.
But it's forgettable as well, I think.
Yes.
The only bit I really like is the bit I always think of is the final girl, Ginny, played by Amy Steele, who's a really good final girl, I think, one of the best in the series.
Yes, she is very, very good.
She's very good. There's a scene where she runs out into the woods and she finds Jason's shack that he's living in. And she runs inside and she's stood by a window in there and you see the silhouette of Jason running towards it through the woods. I love that shot. I think that's fantastic. That's a really, really good shot.
Yep.
But that's as enjoyable as the film gets for me, really. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't particularly like it that much. It's very much in the middle.
I was very happy Muffin the dog did not buy the farm.
Yeah, so what's the chances of two people with dogs of that breed walking in the same forest?
About 0 to none, but, you know.
Yeah, I think that may have been a last-minute edit change because somebody didn't like the dog death.
Probably.
But the ending of this film is very, very strange because I know they had problems with it when they made it, and they basically had to cut something out, and so you get the Jason attack at the end, and then it fades to black, and then you see the two people who were just attacked getting in an ambulance.
Correct.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, this one is not full of logic, that's for sure.
No, but there are some good deaths.
Yeah, I mean, it's a straightforward slasher.
It is, yeah. I think you got it there. It doesn't feel like it's anything special.
Yep. No.
This one.
No.
But I do like the shot at the beginning when you see Alice's house. I love that street that she lives in. I want to live in that street. I just like the houses and that total look, those wooden houses that they have in America, like that.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I like that. It reminds me of the street in Fright Night.
Tom Savini did not do the special effects here.
No, he didn't come back for this one because he assumed that Jason was dead. He thought they killed it all in the first film, so why would you come back?
Yep.
Which makes sense from a plot point of view, because if Jason did die in 1958 in the lake, and we're now in 1980, or whenever it is, what's he been doing? Why didn't he go back to his mum? Which he would have done. We're not expected to ask these questions, though, are we?
Yeah. It's like in Halloween Part 5. So we're supposed to believe that a well-coiffed and shaved Jason slept for a year.
Michael Myers, you mean?
Yeah, Michael Myers. Yeah,
exactly. Didn't have a poo for a year.
I didn't want to go there, but yeah.
And Jason poos because he's got a toilet. We see it.
Yes.
In his shed.
Yes, we do.
You're right. You're dying.
Yeah, no, I'm just, I'm trying to remember. It's the next one that has the outhouses in it.
Yeah. So yeah, Friday the 13th Part 2. It's a slasher film. There's some good deaths. Some they ripped off from Barber's Bay of Blood, and some other deaths that look pretty good. But yeah, the ending doesn't make sense for me. And yeah, it's probably the one I've seen the least out of all of the series, to be honest. Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, and the Blu-ray doesn't look quite as good as the first film does on Blu-ray. It's quite grainy still.
Right.
But it's enjoyable. A lot of people like this one. And yeah, considering where we're going to go later in the series, yeah, in terms of technically wise, it's probably is sort of in the middle towards the upper end. But for me personally, it's not one that I return to very often.
Right. This has got the brown silk panties in it.
Oh, yes. Worth it. Yeah, why would you put them on? Looks like you shit yourself.
I don't know.
But yeah, okay. So what did you score this one?
I gave it a 3 because it's still, for me, a well above average watch for a movie. Well above average enjoyment.
I gave it a 3.
Wow.
I still think it's, if you're going to watch the series, I still think it's one you should watch. But yeah, for me personally, on a nostalgic level, it's just not there with the first one. For me.
Right.
But and considering where we're going to go, if I went less, that sort of makes none of my other scores make sense. So yeah, 3.
Part 3. I saw this one in the theater.
Should we play a trailer first?
Yeah.
Weekends are a good time to escape to the woods. Unless the weekend begins with Friday the 13th. Because 13 is an unlucky number. But out here, so are 1 through 12. Because these are Jason's woods. and nobody leaves them alive. Friday the 13th, Part 3, in 3D. Jason, you can't fight him. You can't stop him. And now, you can't even keep him on the screen. Friday the 13th, Part 3, in 3D. Now, when it comes to killing in Jason's woods, Jason will come to you. Friday the 13th, Part 3, in 3D. A new dimension in terror. It will scare you. Count on it.
Right then, Friday the 13th, Part 3, 3D. Ooh-hoo-hoo-hoo.
1982.
82, directed by Steve Miner, again, starring Richard Brooker, Rachel Howard, David Katims, Dana Kimmel, who else? Who's the person I wanted to list? Hang on. The person I wanted's not on my list, fuck's sake. Larry Zerner, that's him. Larry Zerner and Jeffrey Rogers, Nick Savage, and Terence McCorry. Right. In this one, my computer's fucking around now. In this one, having revived from his wound, they call it a fucking wound, Jason Voorhees takes refuge at a cabin near Crystal Lake. As a group of co-eds arrive for their vacation, Jason continues his killing spree.
Yes, yes.
Revived from his wound. Fuck's sake.
I saw this in the theater. Oh my god, the 3D was so terrible.
Well, you'll be pleased to know that it's just as fucking terrible on the Blu-ray.
Oh god.
Yeah.
You know, with the glasses and the paper glasses, Jesus Christ. It was just stupid.
Yeah, the Blu-ray comes with both versions, and I put on the 3D, and I watched about 2 minutes and went to the 2D version.
There you go.
I can't watch 3D anyway, because I can't put those paper glasses over my normal glasses. So if I don't have my normal glasses on, I can't see. I'm blind as a bat. But the bits that I saw in 3D, no, it just looked shit. So we put it in 2D and just poke up with people putting yo-yos towards the camera and stuff like that.
Yes, and the spear gun and the laundry and the pole and yeah.
Yeah, it's, you know, I'm not going to criticise the film for that too much because, you know, around that time a lot of films did that.
Yeah, it was a gimmick at the time.
Amityville and Jaws and all that, they all did the same thing. So
Yep.
So there you go. This was actually the first one I saw out the whole series.
Really?
Yeah, it was in the video shop, and I used to see the cover there because I really liked the poster for this one. And I just picked it up and said to my mum, "Can I get this one?" She said yes, and I watched it, and I've got a bit of... I didn't pay much attention to it. I put it on, it was sort of in the background, and I was watched up here and there. There wasn't much happening, and it was only in the last few minutes that I sort of paid any attention to it. And 30 years on, pretty much the same response now. This is one that I used to really like, and I don't really like it anymore.
I have a lot of nostalgia for this film, so that kind of helps with my life. And it's got, let's be honest, it's got one of the world's worst biker gangs, you know. Ever.
Gang, 3 of them. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, they are the world's worst.
They are, yeah. They're not particularly intimidating or threatening.
No.
But in this film, we do get Jason as most people know him.
Correct.
We get the hockey mask.
Yes, we do.
Which is probably the best reason to watch this film, as far as I'm concerned.
And this one either starts it or certainly carries it on, having the goofy 10th wheel friend.
You mean Shelley?
Yes. You know what I mean?
Well, that was in the first film as well. There was that character called Ned who wore the Indian headdress and danced around a lot.
Yes, that's true.
He was there.
Fair play there.
But Shelley's more at the forefront in this film. He's
more defined.
To be honest, he's he's the most memorable character in this film.
Yes.
He's the one you remember, and he's probably the only one I like in this film.
Come on. I like the final girl in this one.
Dana Kimmel.
Fox, the girl bike gang leader, was hilarious. Chuck the stoner guy, trying to take a poo is, it's just fun.
To me, those characters, like the two hippies, why were they there? Why are they friends with these people who are clearly 20 years younger than them?
I was just gonna say, doesn't Chuck look like he's about 45?
Yeah. These are hippies that have come out the 60s and they're hanging around with the Scooby Gang.
Yeah, I know.
Why?
I know, right?
Yeah. Friday the 13th Part 3, I watched this, obviously, it was the first one I saw, and then I had it on video when I bought all the videos. I bought it on DVD when it came out on DVD probably about 7 or 8 years ago, and I watched it then, and I remember going, I quite like Part 3, there's some good stuff in it.
Yeah.
And then I watched it again, 2 weeks ago on Blu-ray, and it just went down for me. I just like, this is boring. I can't say there's any kills I particularly like that much in this film.
What about Harold and his wife? Harold wanted to die.
Yeah.
Harold's wife gets a knitting needle jabbed to her neck or head. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, but his wife is clearly somebody in her 20s who's been made to look like she's in her 50s.
Well, you gotta quit following timelines and logic.
Yeah, as I said, the timeline logic on this, because the main character, has a flashback to when she met Jason before, who looks like he does in this film, forgetting that in Part 2 he didn't look anything like that. So yeah, I don't know. This basically plays off Part 1, doesn't it? The end of it is basically Part 1 in reverse. We got Jason instead of his mum attacking, then the mum comes out the lake and all this sort of stuff. I don't know.
Absolutely.
No, I just watched this and I'm hoping that the rest of the series is pretty much how I remember it, but this one, I remembered it better than what it was.
I actually remembered it worse and enjoyed it more this time.
Really?
Yes.
And I will say as well, the Blu-ray looks fucking terrible.
Well, dude, you're watching an old 3D 80s movie. God, it must look atrocious.
Well, no, because you watch a lot of old films on Blu-ray. They've been tidied up. The first Friday the 13th looks great on Blu-ray.
All right, fair play.
And you look at this one, you can see marks on the camera. There's scratches. There's just weird fucking things on the screen. There's just blotches and blemishes. It looks horrible.
Ah, okay.
I don't think it's a particularly well-edited film.
Oh, God, no. No, not at all.
It's serviceable. It's fine. But like with Part 2, it just... I can put it on in the background and look up every so often and get what I need off of it, and that's it.
Well, what did you rate it?
2.5.
Wow. I gave it a 3.
Okay. But yeah, what I found is, with the first 4 Friday the 13th, because Friday the 13th for me was always a given as a franchise. I've always loved them.
Right.
And I think as a franchise, as a whole, it's probably my favourite one. Like I said, Elm Street, I love the first 3, but the rest of the series I don't care about.
Right.
This is one where I think the whole series is fairly consistent. And, they've always been a given to me, these films. So I haven't watched most of these for years, because I put off watching all the Blu-rays when I got it, because I knew we'd be covering it at some point. And watching them now, say parts 2 and 3, I don't think they hold up like I thought they used to. So I'm hoping that the later films do.
One of the interesting things is this where we get the big hulking Jason Richard Booker.
Yes, I actually quite like his look. I like the way he walks. Yeah.
And he makes noises in this one.
Yes, he does, yes. Not too sure how I feel about
that. I think it shows, he's not any supernatural thing yet.
What, like getting the axe in your head at the end of the film?
All right, details. Come on.
Okay.
Maybe his deformity was his skull was enlarged and the axe didn't penetrate his brain, just a skull.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, these are Friday the 13th sequels. These are all things. It's weird looking at them now with that critical eye, because I haven't really watched them since I've been like a quote unquote professional writer. You know what I mean? Since I actually had to do it rather than just watch films for fun, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I was a fanboy before when I last watched all of these, so now I'm watching them with that critical eye. I'm noticing a lot more, and I don't want it to destroy my love of the Friday the 13th films. But yeah, Part 3 just doesn't hold up for me, even less so than Part 2.
This one, if I counted correctly, has about 12 kills in it. So this is the higher kill one.
Yes.
And Stan Winston is uncredited in this movie.
Oh right, I didn't know that.
Yep. Alan Apone is the predominant one, but yeah, Stan Winston is uncredited.
Oh right, fantastic. Well, you say the effects aren't bad.
No, they're not. But again, they're goofier because they're trying to force the 3D part more than the effects.
Yes. Yeah, it doesn't feel natural, a lot of it, yeah, like it did in the other films. Yeah.
Right. I mean, especially he puts the hockey mask on, he's got the spear gun, and he's going to shoot the girl, and they make that whole long drawn out thing.
Yeah, and you can see the wire that the spear's on in the 3D and all that.
There's no way Shelley even remotely looks like Richard Booker in size.
No.
Shelley, is that you? No, it's a big hulking killer. Oh, God.
The fact that Shelley's about a foot shorter, a foot wider, and got a Jufro.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right.
But I do like Shelley as a character. I think he's really well acted. He's supposed to be annoying, but he has got a
soft side.
Yeah, he's not just the Joker. He has actually got a full character.
Correct, compared to some of the other, idiots.
Yeah. I'd rather have seen Shelley in one of the other films. I think it'd have fitted in Part 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
Rather than this film. But
Ted in Part 4.
Well, let's go there then. Speaking of them, let's move on to Part 4.
Three times before, you have felt the terror, known the madness, lived the horror. But this is the one you've been screaming for. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Jason is back. He moves like a shadow, dark and silent.
Sorry you changed your mind?
He never utters a word. He doesn't even seem to breathe.
Where the hell's the corkscrew?
He simply, mindlessly, mercilessly kills. But now, Jason's reign of terror is over. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Jason's unlucky day.
Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Except it's not. 1984, directed by Joseph Zito. Starring Peter Barton, Judy Aronson, Crispin Glover, Corey Feldman, Joan Freeman, Ted White, Wayne Grace, and Eric Anderson.
And who plays Jason?
Ted White, I said that.
No. Wait a minute, hold on.
Oh, here we go.
Richard Booker, doesn't he?
No, Ted White.
All right.
Richard Booker's Part 3.
I thought Richard Booker played him here, too.
No, Ted White.
I don't believe you, so I'm going to go look, and I'm going to be proven wrong. But that's okay.
Go, do what you like. I'll wait.
I'm looking. Jason, Richard Booker.
Uncredited in the flashback footage. Are you on IMDb?
Yes.
Are you on cast and crew?
Yeah, well, no, just all cast.
Yeah. Click on all cast and crew, scroll right down to the bottom.
Okay, hang on a second here. The cast. Ted White, Jason, uncredited.
Thank you.
Well, hang on now. I'm going to go back. I didn't get that far.
Richard Booker Warrington, Gillette, and Steve Dash are all credited as archive footage because they have that flashback at the beginning.
Ah, shit.
Ted White is Jason in this film.
Yeah, you're right.
I know. Never question my authority again.
Good Lord. Ted White was born in 1926.
Oh, yes, he was an old bastard by then.
God almighty.
But with that in mind, I'm going to say, out of these first 4 films, he's my favourite Jason.
Wow. Yeah, no. I thought this one, I liked Jason the best in this one, followed by part 3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Wow.
In fact, I dare say Ted White, after Kane Hodder, could be my favourite Jason. I love his performance in this. I think he's brilliant. He's really menacing.
Yes, he is.
And he can move. Oh, he moves pretty quick in this one.
Yes, he does. That was a big departure that I noticed.
Yes. Yeah, a lot more angry, a lot more aggressive. I love his performance in this.
Yes.
So, let's do the synopsis after that little diversion. After being mortally wounded and taken to the morgue, murderer Jason Voorhees spontaneously revives and embarks on a killing spree as he makes his way back to his home at Camp Crystal Lake.
Oh, God.
Now that you've been proven wrong in front of both our listeners, we can talk about this film.
That's right.
Okay, I saw this on video, late 80s, along with all the other ones, and immediately it became, I don't know whether I'm going to say it's my favourite, but certainly my favourite of the sequels to this point.
Really?
Yes.
I saw it on VHS.
Yeah.
Or videotape at, in the 80s, probably VHS, and enjoyed it, but at this point I still preferred part 3 over part 4.
Okay.
That has changed.
Oh.
On subsequent rewatches, I found I enjoyed this much more than not much more, but enjoyed it more than part 3.
Okay.
I thought the plot was better. I thought the characters were a little bit better. I thought there was, much more going on in this movie in terms of, stories and plots than the last one.
Yes. This film has characters in it.
Yes.
Not just one character like part 3. This has a whole group of characters.
Yes.
And I think what I noticed more on this viewing is that Jason's not in this very much. I always thought Jason was in this film a lot, but he's not.
No, he's not.
First hour or so, you get that flash of him at the beginning, and then you spend, say, the next hour or so with the characters at the lake. And I like them. I think they're good characters. I like the character of Ted. He's an idiot. He's a moron. But we all knew somebody like him at school. In fact, I think that was me at school.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And, I was the one at the party who didn't end up with anybody but ended up watching porn. Yeah, that was me.
I enjoyed the family. I enjoyed Samantha's character and Trish's character and Tommy's character.
That's it. I think they're all there. You got young Corey Feldman as Tommy. Yeah, I like the characters. I think they're all good. I like Crispin Glover's dancing.
Oh, God.
Which has become the stuff of legend.
That was just... I forgot all about that.
Did you know, though, when he's dancing, that the song he's dancing to is not the song they're playing in the film?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Do you know what song he's actually dancing to?
It's 84. Hang on a second.
The year will not give you a clue.
No, it doesn't. I just got to remember the order. It's like Back in Black or Highway to Hell, I think.
Yeah, it's Back in Black.
Yeah.
AC/DC. So that's why he's got that stuttering dance. And when you think about that, you think, that probably makes a bit more sense then.
Yeah, I thought he was just having a seizure.
Yeah, it does look like it is.
You're almost rooting for Crispin Glover to live, but you know he's going to die.
Yeah, you know he's going to get it, and he gets the corkscrew, or the corkscrew, as he says it.
Yes.
Through the hand.
Yes.
And then the meat cleaver to the face, which is quite brutal.
Yes.
We got Tom Savini back doing the effects.
Yes, and that's obvious, I think.
That's obvious. This is a real step. I think this film's a step up in quality.
Yes.
Certainly from part 3, probably from part 2 as well.
And we got the twins in this movie, Terry and Tina.
Oh, yes, the twins. Not my favourite of the females in this film, though. I like the character of Samantha, played by Judy Aronson.
Yes.
She's the one in the boat, in the dinghy.
Oh, yeah, Sarah. Right.
She gets stabbed from underneath when she's out in the boat.
Yes.
And Judy Aronson, she's on the Crystal Lake documentaries. It's Crystal Lake Memories documentary. She still looks gorgeous. She has not aged at all.
Wow. I have a question for you. When I was watching this, I may or may not have blinked and missed it. Does the mom Samantha die?
The mum's not Samantha.
Okay, then the mom.
Judy Aronson played Samantha, but the mum does die, yes.
Okay.
There is a deleted scene. The mum does die, but you don't see it on screen. You just see her turn.
Okay.
She turns towards the camera and screams. Yeah. There is a deleted scene where they find her body. No, I don't tell a lie. There's a deleted scene where the daughter has a dream where the mother has drowned in the bath. And she wakes up and she's like a zombie-like thing. It is on the Blu-ray and the DVD, I think.
Okay.
I think there were plans to do a longer scene where you actually see the mother dead, but I think that got cut.
Gotcha.
Who else? Oh, Bruce Marler's in this film. I forgot that. Who plays Axel, the doctor at the beginning who gets his throat cut and head twisted off.
Yes.
Not Dr. Morgue attendant. He plays Fackler in the Police Academy films.
Yes, he does.
He does. He's great in this at the beginning, yeah.
Dr. Axel.
Watching his workout video. Yeah, great fun.
Watching the 80s workout video while he's trying to have sex. I was dying laughing.
Apparently that workout video was filmed especially for this film.
Well, it may have been, but it was very similar stuff in the US at the time.
Yes, I remember. A bit like those Linnea Quigley workout videos.
Yes.
That type of thing. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, plot-wise, this film doesn't do anything different from any of the others, really. Group of kids by the lake, Jason kills them off. But it's the characters that make this film, and we get Tommy, played by Corey Feldman, who becomes the series' main antagonist, really, or protagonist.
Yes. But don't forget, too, we had Rob the Backpacker, who added kind of another little story to it.
Well, yeah, this is a story that this is picked up again in the remake. They make a big point of this, and he's looking for his sister who went missing.
Yes.
Rob's the character who has the newspaper clipping with a picture of Jason in it.
Yes.
Which is a bit baffling. But he also has the best line in the film when he's being killed by Jason. Did you catch that?
I heard him say, run, but I don't remember the...
He says, run, he's killing me. No shit.
Oh, God help me. Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez, yeah. Yeah, I love Friday the 13th Final Chapter. It still holds up for me as probably the definitive Friday the 13th film.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
This is the one, when people say Friday the 13th, and you've got that image of Jason in the mask killing teenagers, this is the one for me. This is the one that's got everything in it that you need.
Okay.
It's not Kane Hodder as Jason. I think that would make it pretty complete if it was. But I like Ted White's performance. Ted White was asked to come back for one of the later ones, which he didn't. And I think he now regrets that.
Well, he did regret it. He's passed away at like 91.
No, he hasn't.
What?
He hasn't died yet? No. Where'd you get your information from?
I just assumed. I looked at IMDb and said he's 91. Okay, he probably died. I didn't look. He died. Shit.
We apologise to the family of Ted White. He's very much alive.
Honestly, I didn't even give it a second thought. I thought 91. Wow. Okay, he's probably died by now.
No, he's still alive. He was asked to come back to do parts. I think it was part 6, but he didn't. Have you actually seen the Crystal Lake Memories documentary?
I have not.
Ah, you need to get on that, man. 7 hours long.
What?
It's 7 hours long.
Holy 7 hours?
Oh yeah, you have to do it in 2 parts. But very, very good. Lots of background on this film in that. And
oh my God.
Ted White didn't get on with Joseph Zito, the director, very well.
Oh really?
Yeah, Joseph Zito directed Prowler. That's why he was chosen for this one. And I think Ted White thought he was a bit of a taskmaster.
Ah, I got it.
Like, there's a story they tell you, the scene where Samantha gets killed in the boat. Apparently it was freezing cold. The actress got hypothermia. And Ted White basically said to the Joseph Zito, I'm not going to do this scene because she's ill. And Joseph was, no, you will do this scene. It's like, am I fucked? I'm going to walk off set. This woman needs medical attention. I'm not doing this scene, basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the poor actress was naked.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was naked in the boat if they got a cover on her, but
in my mind, she's always naked.
Well, yes. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
If I met her now, in my mind, she'd be naked. And deserves to be. Right, yes. Yeah, so I do recommend the documentary.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Does the documentary go in order of the movies?
Yes.
Okay, so I can watch the first however many hours it takes to get up through, like, part 5 after I've seen part 5.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's done. Have you seen the Never Sleep Again documentary?
I own that one. Yes.
Yeah, it's exactly the same format as that. By the same people.
Cool. Okay.
But yeah, it's 7 hours long. It is fantastic. I do recommend you can watch it.
I don't own it, but I think it's on Shudder in the US.
Okay. I got a Blu-ray, a region-free Blu-ray from America, and I paid about 18 quid for it. And that's 2 Blu-rays, 2 DVDs.
Wow.
So it's not desperately expensive. Hang on, let me see if I can call it up.
Let's hope my Amazon typing skills are better than my IMDb reading skills.
Well, let's hope so.
You know, what's it called? Crystal Lake Memories?
Yeah, I've called one up on Amazon UK, and it's a US release, 2-disc collector's edition, £12.46. But that's obviously UK, and that's just dispatched from Amazon US. So in the US, it's going to be dirt cheap.
Yeah, I can get a multi-format 2-disc collector's edition for $16.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
I highly recommend it.
Sweet. Yeah, nice.
In the last couple of years, I said I haven't watched any Friday the 13th films, but I do stick on Crystal Lake Memories every so often and watch a bit of that, because that gives me my fix then, gives me my greatest hits of the series in one little go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Well, if you do get it, then maybe we can have a proper chat about it at the end when we do a roundup. Anyway, back to Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
Yes, back to the final chapter.
Back to the final chapter. We actually get the death of Jason in this one.
We do.
Or the death of Jason as he is quote-unquote human.
Yes.
And I didn't see this for years, this end scene, because on the UK VHS, it was cut out.
What were they? He gets hung and then gets whacked with an axe?
No, that's part 3.
Oh, hang on a second.
Have you seen part 4?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, this is where Felldog just goes all Felldog on.
That's it, yeah. He goes to town with him with the machete, and you see Jason slide down the machete, and it chops the top of his head off and all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't see that scene until I saw it on DVD about 7 or 8 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, you couldn't get it in the UK. It was cut.
Was it because of the kid? There was a child that was going to town on the killer? Is that the deal?
I don't know. I guess it was just cut out because it was deemed too graphic. I don't know. So at the end of the VHS, you just saw Corey Feldman whack him once with the machete, and then he fell on the floor, and then you saw Corey Feldman whacking him loads of times, and that's all you saw.
That's interesting.
Yes. So for years, even though this was my favourite, the sequels, I always thought the ending was a bit, not very, bit of an anticlimax.
Oh, well, yeah.
And then I saw it on DVD and went, there you go, that makes it better.
Yeah, you didn't, I mean, the version that I watched, you could almost literally see part of Jason's face kind of start to slide off a bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the full effect.
Oh, that was really good.
But again, you could, on the Blu-ray, you can see how Savini done it, but it's still no less powerful for it. Yeah, he slides down the machete, his head falls, top of his head starts to slide off, and then Feldman goes to town with the machete, just whacking the crap out of him. So, as far as we're concerned, Jason's dead, and this is the final chapter.
Yes, as far as we're concerned.
Yes, until 1985.
Well, yes. You'll be happy to know that I've just placed my order. It should be here Tuesday.
Fantastic. Not that I'm pressuring you into it.
$16, so that's what, maybe 11 pounds?
Yeah, that's damn good. Yep.
Yep.
Excellent. Yeah, that's two evenings worth of watching for you then. But yeah, the part 4 stuff on there is really interesting. When you hear Ted White's take on things is rather different to Joseph Zito's.
Okay, I am absolutely curious now.
Yeah.
And I think counting the mom, this one has 12 kills. So It's still, we still got the high body count.
Yeah, we haven't hit the magical 13 though, unless you would count Jason as well.
Well, I don't ever count Jason. I'm just more like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm interested to know what you scored this one.
I scored this one a 3.5.
Okay.
I'm, the more I talk about it, the more this is actually a 4-star for me.
So what are you giving it?
4 stars. It's not as good as Friday the 13th, the original, but it's certainly a better quality movie. If I take nostalgia out of part 3, it's certainly better than the first 2 movies, or the second and third movie by long.
Right.
What did you rate it?
I rated it a 4.
How could you go to a 4?
What do you mean?
You've banged on about this movie. This has got to be at least a 4.5 for you.
If you'd have asked me this 10, 15, 20 years ago, yes, it was. But I'm watching it now with my critical eye, you see. So I'm picking up on the things that I'm going, okay. I think the one difference for me is, like I said earlier, there's not as much Jason in it as I remember. So I think if they'd have put Jason in it, maybe in the middle somewhere, and we saw a bit more of that, maybe it would go up a bit for me. But much like the first film, it's a solid 4. You know, I'm never going to give it less than that.
Okay, gotcha.
This is pretty much the defining one for me. I don't think any of these films, if I'm honest, are going to get a 5 out of from me. I said, Friday the 13th, none of them are perfect, but they're all fairly consistent. They're all around that sort of 3 to 4 mark, more or less. Whereas you look at something like Nightmare on Elm Street, where I go, yes, that one gets 4.5, but the worst of the series gets a 1, you know.
Right.
This series is a lot more consistent. But yeah, it's a solid 4. I don't know whether I prefer it to the first one yet. I'm going to have to see how I feel when we do our summing up at the end. But definitely the best of the sequels.
The interesting thing that struck me when I finished the first 4 is I set about trying to come up with a franchise where the first 4 movies were at least as solid as this.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to come up with one. I mean, you've got Halloween Part 4. Mm-hmm. You know, you've got, none of the Nightmare on Elm Street it was not this consistent.
No, the first 3 were, but no, 4 was a big drop off.
Yes. I just don't think that there's a franchise where you get a reasonably solid 4 movies out of the gate like this.
No, I mean, even for my not liking Part 3 as much, I still would. Part 3 still shits it over the worst of the Elm Street series or the worst of the Texas Chainsaw series or whatever.
Right,
yeah,
right.
There's a lot more consistency with the Friday the 13th because, I mean, it is essentially somebody stalking kids. That's it.
Right.
So, for me, the first 4 films, while my opinions of 2 and 3 have gone down over the years, I still think they're perfectly serviceable as slasher films.
Yes. Believe it or not, this is the jumping off point for me. I have not seen any of the other ones.
Fantastic. So the next show is going to be really interesting then.
I have literally not seen any of the other ones. So I've started buying when I see them in the dollar bin.
Yeah.
Getting some of the other ones because I haven't seen them and I don't own them. So, it's going to be, I'm excited to catch up. Because even though I don't even think I've listened to any of the podcasts that I listened to that covered the later part of the series because I didn't want to. I know some parts, which is unfortunate, but it's not that unfortunate.
Okay, well, so you're going into them fairly blind then?
Yes.
Oh, well, those are the shows I like. Because I know that at least one of the films we're going to cover on the next show may cause a little bit of controversy with my opinion of it.
Oh, with your opinion. Okay. You always cause controversy with some of your opinions.
I know I do. But that's what opinions are for.
Exactly. I think it makes it interesting.
Yeah. So that's the first 4 done. So next show we will cover parts 5 to 8, which will cover the original run of Paramount films. So interesting. I'm hoping my opinion of them hasn't gone down like it has with parts 2 and 3.
I hope not either.
And I don't think it will. I don't think they will, because I've watched those fairly recently. So.
Okay, cool.
Excellent. So, we shall wait till next time then to see what you think. I've got some feedback. Would you like to hear it?
Yes. Who is it from? Is it Gore talking about handies?
No, it's not. Well, maybe, but that's private. I'm not reading that out on the podcast. How dare you cheeky 17. No, it's from our good friend Blue.
Oh, excellent.
So I'm going to read this.
I had a good right giggle at her last feedback, so I'm excitedly awaiting.
Well, await no longer, for here it is. Hi guys, Blue here with some feedback on the first 4 films in the Friday the 13th franchise, and I'm going to do a proper review and keep it clean. Yeah. What can I say about part 1? Absolutely nothing that hasn't been said over the years. It's a classic and I love it, even if Kevin Bacon's neck is a completely different colour during the throat stabbing scene. Yes. And Mrs. Voorhees has toothpicks holding her head on and very manly hairy hands. Thanks for pointing that out, Chris, during our little chat on Twitter. I went back and took another look. It all just adds to the charm. So it's 5 strip Monopoly games out of 5 where everyone is naked. Wow. High praise. She gives it a 5. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Part 2. I really like the way the final girl in the first film was dealt with at the start. It's full of scantily clad horny teens. It's got Crazy Ralph. I think we're related. Yeah, from your part of the world, you probably are. There were a lot of kids in this film, which means a lot of kills, and I wasn't disappointed with the myriad of weapons at Jason's disposal. I really like the skinny dipping scene. I can't tell you how much I willed those young, fit male bodies to turn round, but alas, it wasn't going to happen. You sure this isn't from Gore? No, it's definitely blue. Right, just checking.
I know.
No, I don't know about you two, but I don't go skinny dipping. I'm chunky dunk instead. Yeah. And never in a lake. Naked. You never know what's in there. I really like this film, and it gets 4 strip Monopoly games with 1 person still wearing knickers out of 5. 4? She liked part 2. Okay.
Yes.
Part 3. If I remember, this film was made for 3D, so it has bits sort of sticking out and being thrust at you like handles of pitchforks and things. I've never seen it in 3D, and I must try it one day. No, seriously, don't.
No, don't.
So the kids are annoying. I especially hate the girl they pick up from the house and her attitude towards her date, Shelley. What a cow. I hate shallow people. There's nothing wrong with how he looks. You might be pretty, sweetheart, but your stinking attitude makes you ugly. Here. After that, I just wanted them all dead, except for Shelley, and as quickly as possible. I laughed at the biker gang. The only hard character out of them was the sassy girl. She was great and quite intimidating. Very pretty, too. The guys in the gang, well, I've seen harder, more intimidating flaccid willies. No, I really have. That's definitely from Gore. No. There are some good kills. I especially like the one where the biker gets clubbed to death and he jerks with every blow. And how do you have sex in a hammock? Quickly by the looks of it. How did she keep her hair looking like she just got it done at the hairdresser's? I never look that good post-coital shenanigans. I look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards. And is that a... Oh, no, it's a real pearl necklace. Carry on. It all then climaxes to where Jason gets an axe to the frontal lobe. Well, I give this 3.5 strip Monopoly games out of 5. I'm still wearing underwear because I have Mayfair and Park Lane. Ah, yes. Part 4, the final chapter. The only thing I can say about this is boring. Oh, Blue.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Blue, dearie me. But I found myself looking at my messages and eating salty nuts. Anything not to feel bored. Corey Feldman bouncing around his bed while watching his neighbour undress is how I picture you two at the sight of naked boobies, which I have to say gave me quite a giggle. Yeah. The guy dancing looked like he's having an epileptic fit, and that's all the notes I took because I became completely bored. I can only give it 2 strip Monopoly games out of 5 because I've got Old Kent Road. Thankfully, this is the final chapter, which it isn't. Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, I'm happy to keep that clean. I kept that clean. At least I think I did. I don't have time to proofread. I'm being shouted at as it's my turn to roll the dice. Oh, 6. There goes my bra. Best wishes, Blue. Yeah, thanks, Blue. You're wrong about part 4. It's not boring.
Quite the opposite opinion of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there you go. That's, like I said, that's people's opinions.
Yep. She was much more creative in her awarding of stars.
Yeah, I keep meaning to do that with everything, and then I end up dropping it for some reason. So we need to bring that back. I need to remember.
Yes.
We will do that. But yeah, I love Blue's feedback. She always gets in the spirit of it.
Yes, exactly.
And always mentions boobs, which is great.
And we are 12 after all.
We are. So yeah, if you'd like to write to us about boobs and things, or anything else you like, really, you can do so at ancientslumberpodcast@gmail.com, or you can catch us on Twitter at ancient_slumber. Right, then I think that's business taken care of until next time.
I think it is.
I'm looking forward to the next one. We'll cover the next 4 Friday the 13th films, which you have never seen.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, and I am actually considering going the digital route on the movies I don't own.
Okay. Are you going to watch the bits of Crystal Lake Memories that refer to the next few films before you've seen them, or are you going to watch them completely blind?
No. I'm gonna watch it completely blind.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. If you watch the films and then watch the sections on the documentary,
Yes, that's gonna be.
And then you might get your facts right for the next podcast, mightn't you?
God, again, I apologize to Ted White and your family. I'm sorry.
If he dies within the next, now by the time we do the next podcast, then I think there's a case to be made there for your fault.
Oh God! If he dies, I will feel so stupid, so bad. Oh my God!
You'll be making a public apology on the Fox News. There you go.
Yes. Right next to Scott Baio, you got it. Oh Jesus!
Oh well. With that in mind, I suggest we better go before anyone else dies.
Yes, exactly.
As we mention their names.
God Almighty! And with that, bye.
Bye.
Did you know that a young boy drowned the year before those 2 others were killed? The counselors weren't paying any attention. They were making love while that young boy drowned. His name was Jason.
Thank you.